What's up, Ace?
Nothing much, Oxide.
Alright, today we're going to be doing a Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops video for Wardriving on Veteran.
Yeah, and this really isn't a speed run. This is more tips and tricks. If you have any questions about what we do, just comment on the video. This isn't a speed run again. I've seen people do this in less than half the time we did it in.
Yeah, we basically did it this is like, as far as I know, the safest and most convenient way to do it without using like glitches or
Mods,
anything
things
that
like that.
messes with the game.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so waiting for other player because Ace's internet is slow, and also because I have the game installed. What you're gonna do, start off by running toward this house on the left and lasing Honey Badger on the garage. It'll help soften up most of the early resistance, and see, even then I got pretty injured. And it will also help clear a path for it'll act as suppressing fire for what's next. So the next part of the strategy is to I tried to laze again and I got injured. Run to this ammo bunker for ammo dump for cover, and then run into this red bricked house. I'm using the car for cover.
Yeah, and the other thing is you use everything for cover you possibly can. Never run out onto the road, because that's when you'll go down, especially on Veteran. You can hide by cars, you can hide in garages, you can hide by ammo boxes. Just be really careful about vehicles, because they do have a tendency to blow up when they're being shot. And another thing is you can't be afraid to use Honey Badger, because that's a really, really strong weapon. And you can laze vehicles, you can laze houses, you can laze groups of enemies. Don't be afraid to use it, right?
Yeah. The area of the houses the houses we're going in, the order is the one closest on the right, then the one farthest on the right, and then the one closest on the left. Just because it seems to work the best, it's most convenient, and it's also a good order. It's just a good order in general. So what you have to do when you're entering this house, we've already went past it, is you gotta watch out because there's always enemies in that little area, in that little nook that I just left. Then there are going to be more enemies inside the actual living room. I didn't do it, but you really should throw a flashbang in there just to make sure you get them.
Yeah, and it's really important to just like douse this area in claymores and set up your sentry guns correctly, because really the claymores are like your little best friends, because put them by vehicles so the vehicles blow up, put them on the sidewalk, because the AI honestly isn't that smart even on Veteran, and if you place them like in a dead body, they'll blow it up and they'll die. But I have a little bit of advice: do not place them too close together or they'll blow each other up.
Yeah. One other thing is preparation for this mission is key. If you don't prepare well enough, you will not be able to succeed. It will not work. When you actually start the transfer in this first house, if you have two players, have one, or if there's just one of you, the first one runs upstairs and snipes on this window. They also use Honey Badger to create suppressing fire. The other person Ace didn't really do it until the end here, but you should go. The other should cover the garage because that's the weakest point. I also put a lot of claymores in there because, as I just said, it's the weakest point.
So yeah, you should have one person down there who's mopping up like by the window, by the garage, places that the person couldn't have necessarily upstairs have gotten.
Yeah. This house is relatively easy, just because it's really easy to cover. You make sure though when you're leaving, you watch the house on the far house, just because like the enemies spawn after the enemies spawn. Oh, see, flaming car. The enemies spawn right after you complete the house that you should have just left. The strategy for this house is to run in through this side door in the garage, in the downstairs garage, and clear upstairs first, then work your way down.
Solid copy. Engaging infantry.
Yeah, that's because, and if I'm not mistaken, this is a pretty big house,
Yeah.
right? It's not. Yeah, this is the biggest house in the Spec Ops Wardriving, and there's all sorts of enemies, could be anywhere. Just keep that in mind, because there's all sorts of nooks and crannies. There's
Right
libraries,
here.
there's bathrooms,
Sorry to
there's
interrupt you.
closets.
Right
where
here.
enemies could be.
That guy is really annoying. See, I knew he was there, and I had my sights trained on him before I even walked around the corner, and he almost killed me. He's just a pain. There's also another guy in this bathroom that's really annoying.
Yeah. And so yeah, they'll be pretty much everywhere. You need to do a really thorough search of the house because honestly, I went through once and I didn't think there were any enemies, but then I went through again and there's some, you know, around here. And in the wine cellar especially, where Oxide just shot a guy, that is where they love to hide.
Yeah, like
roaches.
what Ace was just saying. See, I went in there, and then I killed a guy, and then I left, and then Ace walked in there, and he killed a guy, and he had killed a guy that I hadn't even seen.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is it's really important to check your corners, and it's really important to just find all the nooks and crannies and kill all the enemies that you see.
Alright, so preparation for this house. There are 2 sentry guns, which are very, very helpful. The first one should go over here. This is a major area where enemies spawn. And people wouldn't really think about it because you can't, as a player, you can't go there. It says turn back and continue the mission. Make sure to put claymore, even though the sentry gun is there, make sure to place claymores at the door entrances because they can still get in. They might sneak around it, or worst case scenario, they may destroy it. The sentry gun from the first house should go across the street if you look back where Ace placed it. He's going to talk about where you put the third one.
The third sentry gun in this house should be placed right here on this doorstep right here, because honestly it's see, I place it right here, and it creates a space that players and NPCs can't really get through, and it's really good suppressing fire because they literally have to get into the house and knife it from behind to take it out. And once again, claymores and sentry guns are your best friends.
Yeah. We're not completely sure. It does block players, but we're not sure if that sentry gun does block NPCs from getting in.
Well, we didn't fail the mission, so we did something right here, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so right here, I'm just popping down claymores like a boss, just because this is another place. If they get past this sentry gun, they are going to rush you, like. Just
and again, if you have like a claymore surplus, you can put them down in plain sight. And even if they do detect them with their programming and shoot them, that slows them down and gives you a chance to response them.
Oh, while this video is fast forwarding because it's getting kind of slow. One thing that I do right here is I run back and get ammo because as you can see, I only have 48 bullets plus the mag I had. And if you run out of ammo mid-wave, you're screwed.
Really screwed.
They will run.
And also, think about this like. And whoa, I think I lazed that car for the honey badger.
Just hate green cars. Is that it?
Yeah, probably. But you gotta think about you have one person. You gotta divide up because you should have one person who has like an RPD and has like really heavy machinery who they can handle lots of enemies with. And you have someone with a P90 and a UMP, both of which I know are on this map, who can take out enemies fast and move a little bit quicker. You shouldn't both be slow lumbering giants.
Yes. Alright, so we started the download. If you have one person, have them. Hold on. I'm just starting like lacing off the targets because as I said before, really helpful tool. If you have one person, camp or if you have a first person, if you have 2, camp in this corner because it's very, very easy to defend this downstairs area if you hide in this corner because the enemies have to come to you and it's easier to shoot them. See that?
But it's also important for the other player to be going around and checking windows and checking doors and making sure they don't really have to reach that person in the corner because if you get down, that's not good.
See, that's what I was talking. What just happened before, where that enemy came in and flashbanged me. That's what I meant. Like, I still had the sentry gun there, but he snuck around it and got in. If I had not put claymores there, he might have wasted me for all that could have happened. Now, after you clear that second house, put the sentry gun in this little tree alcove thing, because it's like that way it can cover you when you're.
And another thing, don't get run over by honey badger. It's really frustrating and it's really rage-inducing if you get run over by something that's going like 1.5 miles an hour. So it's really
enter this house. Enter from the not like Ace did, but enter from the side because they will wreck you. See, I started shooting that just random ragdoll. It's just stuck in last stand pose. But
yeah, and another thing, in this house right here, this is the final house we have to do, I think. And there's a lot more windows, and there's a lot more nooks and crannies than you would think. So just make sure you get all of them with claymores, because you really don't want them sneaking up.
And yeah, watch that guy right there. But 2 notes. One about this house, one about just general stuff. Enemies can climb through that window that I just put a claymore down in. So you really want to put one in there. And the other note is, if you get run over by a honey badger, the mission ends. You don't go to
Not
last
last
stand.
stand.
The mission just you die. So
Well, you're run over by 20 tons of steel and
I mean,
treads.
I
think
guess
you die.
your teammate could get like an air pump and reinflate you, but your air Call of Duty
Yeah.
not
So,
like, high tech enough to have air pumps.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Alright, so another thing is you're gonna want to customize your loadout to camp in this one specific area. Like Oxide, I
yeah,
think you
okay,
pick
right
up
before
a
I
thumper at
start
one
the
point.
download, I pick up the thumper, just so you like. The thumper
Yeah.
is very useful in this house mainly. It's a camp.
Oh,
Yes,
useful
it's
camp.
good for taking out multiple enemies that come through like a concentrated area, like the door I just went through or the front door. One other thing I would recommend that will the outcome will be represented in a minute is do not throw grenades ever when you're
Yeah.
like when you turned on the download
In a small area
and
like this.
started to camp, and Ace will show you why in a sec. So I'm just kind of
Well, and another thing is be really careful about where you put your bullets and where you put your grenades and even flashbangs, because you could be disabling or blowing up your own claymores, and that could make a chain reaction.
And you could also, if your teammate's entering somewhere and you throw a grenade, and yeah, you take out one or two enemies, but your teammate goes down, and then you get pinned down, you're done. Alright, so here, Ace throws a grenade, it blows up, and puts me in last stand, and it also gets rid of like half our Claymore Armada. Way to go, Ace.
Yeah, it's not my best move right there. But we recovered from it pretty quickly, and we're actually almost done with this one, because it only has 900 files compared to the, I think, like almost 2,000 files some of the other houses have.
Yeah.
So,
the one thing about the files though is that, like, yeah, we only have 988 here, but the amount does fluctuate. I don't know like how it works. I think it's you have a total number of files, like of 3 combined, and it just separates them into different groups.
yeah.
All right, so I just lays down some suppressing fire right there, and the mission's over. So yes, we did complete it in 13 minutes. It's not the fastest way to do it, but it is, as far as I know, the safest.
And if we really did help you, just comment below, or maybe even leave a video response of you doing Wardriving on Veteran, and tell us what you think.
Alright, this is Aries Oxide signing off.
Aries Ace, signing off.